A public defense system brings to life some of the ideas in the Constitution that Americans pride themselves on.
Democratic Visions is handmade in Eden Prairie and Minnetonka by DFL Senate District 42.
Welcome to Democratic Visions. Our guest is John Stuart. John is our state public defender. John works for the Minnesota State Board of Defense in downtown Minneapolis. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Tim. I'm glad to be here.
A public defender is a lawyer employed or compensated by the government to provide legal help for people who have been charged with a crime but are too poor to hire an attorney. The Jack McCoy character on Law and Order is not a public defender. He's a prosecutor. John Stuart is a public defender, a skilled and impassioned one. This is a critical job requiring an excellent lawyer. Times are tough. We all know that. Our public defender programs have been cut, even as their workload increases. John, it occurs to me that the budgetary cuts of 2008 coupled with the budgetary cut of 2009 has an impact on the poorer sections of our society. Is that in fact the case?
Yes, it is, Tim.
60% of all misdemeanor cases and upwards of 85% of felony cases are defended by public defenders.
It's expensive to hire a private lawyer, and a lot of people who are arrested barely have enough money to eat and hope to keep a roof over their head. People are taking longer to get their cases resolved. Not only our clients...
Guilty and innocent? They're still
guilty or
there?
Innocent. Well, you know, we take the cases of people in jail first, but an awful lot of people have something hanging over their head that they'd like to clear up. And if you're a crime victim, there are a lot of crime victims in the poor community, you want a sense of resolution. You may be waiting to be paid restitution. There are a lot of people waiting for the court system to do its work, and we're a necessary, vital part of that work of the courts.
So this really has a direct impact on poor people, is that correct?
Sure, but not just poor people. It has an impact on people who own businesses that may wait a year or two to have a worthless check or a shoplifting case taken care of.
What do the judges and prosecutors think about the fact that your services have been curtailed in this fashion?
They don't like it, but they've been working with us to help get adequate funding for the whole justice system. It's really like a three-legged stool. If you have a judge and a prosecutor, but we're not there, the thing tips over. You need everybody in the court system to have enough staff to get the work done. A public defense system brings to life some of the ideas in the Constitution that Americans pride themselves on. We say everybody's entitled to a fair trial. We say you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. We say there's two sides to every story. We say equal justice under the law. But these are concepts that need people to bring them to life, and that's what the public defenders do every day by working in the court system to help poor people who are in trouble have their stories be heard.
I've heard it said that public defenders are overworked and underpaid. We don't have to worry about the payment, but are the public defenders overworked in your estimation?
Right now, the public defenders in Minnesota are handling caseloads just about double the recommended caseloads by the American Bar Association.
Like how many cases would that be?
Well, it'd be the equivalent of 800 misdemeanor
800?
cases a year.
Oh,
I'll tell you a story I heard yesterday. The judge called the chief public defender to say that the local public defender didn't get the morning cases done until 12:15. That lawyer had 23 cases that morning, and he had to make appearances in 3 different courtrooms with 6 prosecutors. He started at 8 in the morning and he got out at 12:15. And that was 15 minutes late. But that's the nature of the job.
So how many public defenders are there in the state of Minnesota?
Right now there are about 390. Until 2 years ago it was more like 440.
And are they concentrated primarily in the metropolitan area?
We have public defenders all over the state. You know, we have 87 counties and every county has a courthouse.
Now the legislature has attempted to address this problem in their inimitable fashion by proposing that the Supreme Court assess a fee against all practicing lawyers in the state. Do you agree with that proposition?
I think that the general fund ought to be in a position to pay for people's constitutional rights to be taken care of.
By the general fund, you mean just
I mean,
the
without
money that
making
comes
the
in?
lawyers pay for it separately. On the other hand, this would be a disaster if we didn't get that money.
What can the public do to voice their support for the public defense system, John?
Gosh, what a great question. I think, first of all, people can talk to their legislators and say, look, we believe in the Constitution. We believe in the Bill of Rights. We believe in equal justice, so you have to fund the public defender system. Tell the legislators that this is important to who we are as Americans and who we are in Minnesota.